The flickering light of a lantern cast long, dancing shadows on the faces of the four teenagers huddled around it. We need to stick to the plan. No matter what happens, we have to stay together. Greg, usually the boisterous leader, spoke in hushed tones, his voice tight with anxiety. Cindy, her eyes red-rimmed but resolute, checked the kerosene in their makeshift torches. The torches are ready. We can't let him catch us off guard. Tonight they were not just friends, but hunters, united against a predator who had terrorized their summer sanctuary, Camp Camden. Tonight they would end the reign of the Hacking Lumberjack. They had lost friends, counselors, their sense of security, but they refused to lose their lives. Tonight they fight back. Remember the plan? Greg's voice, though barely a whisper, cut through the silence. Each of them nodded, their faces illuminated by the flickering lantern light, a tableau of youthful courage facing down unimaginable fear. Cindy gripped her torch tighter, her knuckles white, her breath catching in her throat. The metallic scent of kerosene filled her nostrils, strangely comforting in its practicality. Tonight they fight fire with fire. Jason, ever the pragmatic one, tested the sharpness of his hunting knife against his thumb, his expression stoic, masking the tremor that ran through his body. This is madness, sheer and utter madness, but what choice do we have? The lumberjack was relentless, a force of nature fueled by a darkness they couldn't begin to comprehend. Paul, usually the heart of their group, now resembled a ghost, his eyes wide and haunted, his grip on the bear trap almost painful to see. Yet, beneath the fear, a spark of defiance flickered. We may be outmatched, outgunned, but we're not out of hope. Tonight, we make our stand. The forest seemed to close in on them, the towering pines like silent sentinels judging their every move. The air hung heavy with the smell of damp earth and pine needles, a cloying perfume that spoke of decay and death. Each rustle of leaves, every snap of a twig underfoot, sent shivers down their spines, their eyes constantly scanning the impenetrable darkness beyond the reach of their torches. They moved like phantoms themselves, their earlier bravado fading with each step deeper into the heart of the woods, replaced by a chilling awareness of their own vulnerability. The path, barely discernible in the darkness, seemed to stretch endlessly before them, leading them towards a confrontation they couldn't win, a truth they couldn't escape. Yet they pressed on, their fear a constant companion, their determination fueled by a flicker of hope and a burning desire for revenge. Tonight, they faced their demons. The cabin loomed before them, a grotesque silhouette against the moonless sky, its crooked chimney spewing a plume of sparks into the night. The air around it crackled with a palpable sense of menace, a silent testament to the horrors that unfolded within its decaying walls. Greg motioned for the others to fan out, their shadows stretching and contorting in the flickering light of the torches, their faces grim masks of fear and resolve. The silence, broken only by the frantic hammering of their hearts, was shattered by the eerie twang of a banjo string, a discordant, unsettling melody that seemed to claw at the edges of their sanity. It was a sound they had all come to dread, a harbinger of pain and death. The Hacking Lumberjack was home. Fear threatened to cripple them, to root them to the spot, but they pressed on, their resolve hardening into a steely determination. Fan out, everyone, stay sharp. The music swelled, a cacophony of banjo strings and demonic laughter, each note a hammer blow against their frayed nerves. It was a sound designed to unhinge the mind, to break the spirit. The smell of wood smoke and something metallic wafted through the air. This was not just a cabin, it was a tomb. All right, here's the plan. Cindy, you take the kerosene. Jason, set the bear trap. Greg, his voice barely a whisper, outlined the final steps of their plan. Got it, let's end this. Cindy, her hand trembling, doused the base of the cabin with kerosene. Bear trap set, we're good to go. Jason, his face pale but determined, set the bear trap. They were trapped in a macabre ballet orchestrated by the chilling soundtrack. With a final desperate prayer, Greg tossed his burning torch onto the kerosene-soaked wood. The flames erupted with a hungry roar, licking at the dry timber, casting flickering shadows that danced with the demonic figures conjured by their fear. The music inside the cabin reached a fever pitch, a frenzied, desperate crescendo that spoke of the occupant's realization of his impending doom. It's over, it's finally over. The heat was intense, a living wall of fire that pushed them back, forcing them to shield their faces from the searing heat. The air crackled and popped, the flames consuming the cabin with terrifying speed, turning the once familiar structure into a raging inferno. The music, abruptly cut short, was replaced by a gut-wrenching scream, a primal sound of fear and agony that echoed through the night, sending chills down their spines. The fire burned for what felt like an eternity, a pyre consuming not just wood and flesh, but also the fear that had haunted them for so long. As the flames finally began to die down, leaving behind a smoldering ruin and a silence that was almost deafening, the enormity of what they had done washed over them. They had faced their nightmare and emerged victorious, but at what cost? The smell of smoke lingered in the air, a grim reminder of the horror they had witnessed. They stood there for a long moment, their faces illuminated by the rising sun, a tableau of exhaustion and relief, forever marked by the events of the night. They had survived, but the memory of the Hacking Lumberjack, of the terror he had inflicted, would forever be seared into their souls. They had won, but the victory felt hollow, a Pyrrhic victory in the face of such loss and unimaginable horror. They had escaped with their lives, but the question remained, had they truly escaped the nightmare? Thanks once again, everybody, for tuning in for the conclusion to this haunting tale from the mind of Father Lokk and Father Lokk's Horror House's 7-Minute Mayhem series. Welcome to the family, all new subscribers. We see ya, and it's truly such an honor to call you a Lokk. Please subscribe and hit your notification bell if you haven't already. Be safe out there. And in the words of Father Lokk, always remember and always know that he loves y'all. Bye, family, and thank you for being a great member of it.